Hi everybody, and welcome to another one of my expert webinars where I bring you access to experts within my network or experts that are friends of mine. And this webinar, I'm really excited because at the moment there's a lot of people who approach me and ask me questions on how they can get funding for their business. And this is going to be a really amazing webinar and full of content, and it's going to be something that all of you guys can apply and learn from. As usual, as normal, before we start the webinar, if you can give me a yes in the chat box, just to let me know that you can hear me nice and clearly, that my audio is clear. Excellent, brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, so I want to introduce you to actually a friend of mine who's part of my network and has helped not only myself but a lot of people I know in this business. And Mark Kane is basically known as America's favorite funding advisor. His company is one of the largest and most trusted providers of small business credit solutions in the US. And Mark and both his companies have been frequently mentioned in Entrepreneur, USA Today, Inc. 500, Black Enterprise, and the Wall Street Journal. And what I'd like to do right now is bring on Mark. Let's just unmute him. Hi, Mark. Thank you very much for taking your time out to be with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And what I'd like to do right now is I would just make you make you presenter, so you can continue. You should be able to see that screen come up, and there you go.
Right.
Excellent.
So you should now.
Yes, we can see your screen there.
Beautiful. Okay, great. Well, again, thank you very much for this opportunity. I really am excited. I am honored to be here because, especially for the audience, what I'm going to share with you and teach you are really the insider secrets, and I'll explain why they're insider secrets as I move along in this webinar. And these are the things that can get you as much as $25,000, $50,000, really up to $250,000 to fund your business, even if the bank has told you no, and even if you don't have perfect credit. But before I can get into that, this is what I need from everybody, and that is really, please just clear off all of the distractions. And I'm asking you to get paper or pencil. I'm going to have a lot of information. You're going to want to write down as much as possible. You need some way to take some notes. And look, just if you have any other web browsers open or tabs, do me a favor. Can you just turn them off now? I know this is going to be tough. If you can turn off your cell phone, the TV, and this is the big one, no texting, twittering, or checking Facebook, because believe me, it's for your own good. And also, if I ask you a question or if I ask you to raise your hand, if you could do that, because I sort of monitor the box as I go along, and it really just lets me know that, hey, I'm in tune with you, that you hear me when I'm asking you. And so I guess, are we ready to start? Are you guys ready? All right, perfect. Let's get going. So for those of you who don't know me, just if you can allow me to introduce myself. Again, my name is Mark Kane, and with your permission, I'd like to tell you just a little bit about myself. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of CreditWise Advisors, along with my beautiful wife, Vivian, who's pictured here with me. I'm a speaker, author. I am a direct business lender, and this is important to remember, that I lend money directly to businesses. I'm considered a credit expert in both business credit and personal credit. And I spent, I guess, the first 17 years, if you will, of my career as an investment banker. And that experience gave me an opportunity to really study and understand how businesses, both big and small, good and bad, how they really work. And over the last 15 years, I've been an entrepreneur, business owner, and direct lender. Now, over my career, I've literally worked with tens of thousands of individuals. I mean, these are all business owners. They're all just like you. And I've helped them be successful and get the money they need. Now, these individuals, just in the past 5 years, have borrowed over $250 million. Our programs have funded as much as $19 million in 1 month. And one of the big things we kept seeing as we were working with these business owners is that they didn't have business credit. And what they were doing is they were relying on the owner's personal credit. So that's why we decided to do something about it. Now, look, I know that you don't know me, and I'm really the last person to brag or boast, but I do think it's important that the person you're talking to isn't talking theory, but actually has the real life experience. So I'm hoping that you all agree with me on that. So just to let you know that I know what I'm talking about. So I started a business from scratch out of my home with a credit card, and within 4 months I was able to secure a $5 million line of credit. And then within 3 years, this home-based business, in which I was literally the only employee, it did almost $40 million of revenue. So at the end of this webinar, I'm going to tell you about how we ended up developing our instant business funding system, how tens of thousands of business owners, just like you, have successfully gone through the system, getting the money they need to build their dreams. And as Sohail mentioned, when one of my vendors found out about what I did for a living, he said, you know, you got to be one of America's favorite funding advisors. And the thing would be is he would recommend a lot of people to me, and he always referenced me as America's favorite funding advisor. And that's kind of how the name stuck over the years. So who is this training not for? If you're a business owner, or you're thinking of starting a business, and you're not looking for your business to be both credible and fundable, then I guess this webinar would not be for you. Now, I hate starting a webinar and being the bearer of bad news, but I think it's important to understand that, you know, times are tough, all right? And some would say, Mark, that's a gross understatement. So just say yes if you agree that times are tough out there, all right? So raise your hand, just type in the word, okay, good, perfect. All right, look, foreclosures, they've created one of the worst real estate catastrophes in history. Unemployment rates are still high by any standard. The U.S. dollar is really not trading the way it should be against the world. Our deficit, over $16 trillion, the price of oil. Let's face it, gas prices, I don't know about where you are, but I know for me, I'm paying a ridiculous amount for gas. And so do we all agree that these and many other factors, you know, and they've really created what is considered to be the perfect storm for the greatest recession since the Great Depression, right? So again, just raise your hand, type in the word yes if you agree, all right? All right, so here are some of the unpleasant facts that we all face today as business owners. So 80% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow, all right? Last year, small businesses, the lending to these small businesses, it was slashed by over $15 billion. That's with a B, over $15 billion. And the credit crisis has made it virtually impossible for small businesses to obtain traditional bank financing. And I know it firsthand because on a local basis, the majority of my business locally is actually referred from the banks. I get all of the local bank turndowns. So I'm going to take it a step further. The banks, business lenders, credit card companies, believe it or not, they are not motivated to teach you how to get the financing and do it the right way. You have to ask yourself why. And the reason is simple, because they can make a lot more money by keeping you in the dark. See, they make more money when they can charge you rates based on your personal credit, and they want your personal guarantees, and that helps them mitigate their risks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that for you right now. So are you ready? Okay. So the good news, all right? You knew there had to be good news. It's not all about bad news. The good news is this. What I'm going to share with you and teach you right now is how to get unlimited financing for your business, how to do it without risking your personal assets, how to do it without lowering your personal credit score, and how to do it without personal guarantees or risking your personal assets. Now, what I'm going to share with you and teach you right now is really the result that my accountants weren't aware of, all right? My lawyers, who I'm almost embarrassed to say I was paying up to $700 an hour, they didn't know it. You know, this is one of the greatest secrets that's out there, but I'm going to share it and teach it to you right now. It's not going to cost you a penny. I can also promise you that the banks, the traditional business lenders, the credit card companies, they don't want to share this secret with you. And here's the thing. I'm not going to make you jump through hoops to get it. It doesn't matter whether you're just starting a business, whether you have an existing business, or if you're buying a business or franchise, you can now access business credit. all right? You can now access business credit, and it doesn't even matter if you have less than perfect personal credit, all right? You can still get business financing. So, you know, I mean, for a lot of business owners, they scratch their head and they say to me, really? I didn't know that. So just do me a favor, type in the word yes in the chat box if you want me to teach you how to do it right now. All right, good, perfect. That's great, thanks. All right, so look, before I get into the nitty-gritty, I just want to review why you want and need business credit. All right, so the question is, why should you be excited about business credit? Look, I could probably talk for another couple hours just about that one subject alone, but I'm going to do my best to narrow it down. So when you have the right credit, you're going to be able to get the right tools and resources for your business. Now, the SBA, the Small Business Association, says that the number one reason businesses fail is because they don't have the capital to get their business up and running. So one of the things that you have to understand, when you get the right capital for your business, you can buy the right team, you can get the tools, the equipment, the computers. So let me ask you, if you could have the right tools in the right team right now, how many on this call know that they could make more money? I bet you it's just about all of you. Well, that's what business credit can do. Not only that, the key to having credit in cash is that you need to be able to have cash flow in your business. I got to tell you, again, as a lender, the biggest problem I see with virtually all the businesses that I deal with is their cash flow. But with business credit, you can actually hire the resources you need to build your business. It's going to also give you peace of mind that you've actually separated your business from your personal life. And again, I can tell you or ask you, why is it that you formed a corporation? Well, in theory, it's for the tax benefits, but more importantly, it's to separate personal from business. But, you know, for most of you, and I'll be getting into this, you commingle the two, and basically it's one and the same, the company, you as an individual. So it's important to have them separated to protect you, it protects your family, and it actually protects your personal assets. It's also going to give you better rates on loans. There's no question about that, all right? You know, when you use business credit, and I can see on average that, you know, you can save 1, 2, sometimes as much as 6 or 7 points interest on your loans. And that's huge, all right? That's a huge, huge difference in savings. And as a result, you reduce expenses, you increase cash flow. So now some of you might be saying, you know what, Mark, you know, it sounds good, but do I really need it right now? So before I tell you what I'm going to cover in today's training, let me ask you this question. What would an extra $50,000 do for you in your business right now? All right, type that into the chat box if you can for me. I'll review it a little bit later. See, what I'm going to teach you in this webinar is the easiest way to build your business credit. So you're going to be credible. That's an important word, credible in the eyes of every lender. I will tell you exactly what you need to do to establish business credit lines so your business will be fundable. So 2 key words, credible, write that down, credible and fundable, all right? I'm also going to show you an easy way to get a bank loan guaranteed. Now, just for attending this training, all right, I'm going to give you several things. For everyone who stays to the end of the presentation, I'm going to give links to 2 very special gifts. First, I'm going to give you my complete corporate compliance checklist. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a few minutes, and believe me, you cannot begin this whole process without this checklist. Now, normally I would charge someone $297 for this, but it's going to be my gift to you to show you just how important it is for me to see you succeed. Now, the second gift is something that I've never given away, all right? It's an ebook. It's an ebook that I've written on the 9 most devastating mistakes entrepreneurs and business owners make when financing their business and how to avoid them. And I also combine that with the 8 funding, what I call the gotchas, all right? These are the things that can actually sink your business. Now, this ebook, in my estimation, can literally save your business life. And I don't care if you're a brand new business, you've been in business for decades, it just doesn't matter. All right, so why should you be excited about business credit? Entrepreneur Magazine states you should differentiate your personal credit from your business credit. See, if there is one thing that you take away from this webinar, it's this. This is the most important thing that all entrepreneurs should do. You have to. You really have to separate your personal credit from your business credit. And again, I'm sharing this from the perspective of being a lender. I can't tell you how many times we see it so badly commingled that a good business doesn't qualify because of the poor personal credit of the individual. But, you know, the sad fact is up to 92% of all small business owners, they mix their personal credit with their business credit. So let me ask you this. How many of you on this call have actually been guilty? I'm going to raise my hand right now because I already know where I'm going with this. You drive by Office Depot or Home Depot, you go in there and you say, you know what, I need this for my business. You go in there, you took out cash, you took out a personal credit card, maybe you took out a business credit card, but let me ask you, is this a business credit card that just has the business name, or is it a business credit card that has your name on it right underneath the business name? Because if that's the case, guess what? You're still personally responsible for that. And so when you pay with cash or you pay with those credit cards, you know, how many of you have done that? All right, just do me a favor, type in the word yes. All right. Oh, wow. It looks like some people are typing the word yes twice. Okay, good. Of course, we've all done it. Now, I've got to tell you, we have all done that before. So what I'm going to share with you is how you can actually separate your business credit from your personal credit. And so now you can leverage every business dollar that you spend by actually getting it to report to the business credit bureaus. Now, if you don't separate the two, your business credit is always, and when I say always, I mean always, it's going to compete. You got to think about this. If you're not separating the two, your business credit is going to compete against your personal credit. So doesn't it make more sense to separate the two? I mean, understand personal credit is limited. There's only so much of that you can get. And what you're going to see as I go through this is that business credit is actually unlimited. So personal credit is limited. And if you're using it to take up on your business side, you're competing against yourself. So your personal credit, here's the best way to think about this. Your personal credit follows you wherever you go. But your business credit stays with your business. Now, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that that credit actually becomes a business asset. And as a business asset, it can be sold when you sell your business. So when you compare similar businesses, what we've noticed in the marketplace is that a business that has built a business credit asset, so these are businesses that have built business credit, meaning they've separated their personal from their business credit, they've been able to sell their business for as much as 30% more than a very similar business that hasn't taken the time to build this business credit asset. Hopefully that makes sense to you, right? Okay. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, they state that lenders check your company's credit report to see if they want to do business with you. Now, hopefully you know that. And if you don't, I'm telling you it's true. Again, as a lender, that's one of the first things that we look at, business credit. So one of the most important things that you have to understand is that sometimes before businesses, your vendors, all right, the other people that you do business with, before they want to do business with you, they want to make sure that you're in good standing. So that's why we're going to help you with that today, all right? And Wells Fargo, all right, and Wells Fargo is the largest small business lender in the country. They actually stated that the longer you delay establishing business credit, the longer you delay in taking advantage of business loans. Now, I'm going to share with you in a moment is how to set up your business credit profile so that you'll have access to these loans and the money. Now, there's a challenge, all right? A Pepperdine University study stated just recently that in the past 6 months, only 17% of companies with less than $5 million in revenue actually got their loans. And they go on to say that if it's been tough in the past couple of years, just wait. So can I ask you, can anybody here afford to wait? All right, how many of you can survive the next 1, 2, or 3 years without additional access to capital? The bottom line is this. 83% of the businesses that applied were declined, all right? But let me ask you this. How many of you would love to learn how to be a part of the 17% that get funded, all right? That's what I'm going to teach you right now. So there are three things that you're going to learn. First, I'm going to teach you the easy way to build your business credibility, but you have to promise me that you're going to do exactly what I tell you. All right, is that fair? Okay. The second thing is that I'm going to show you how easy it is to get business lines of credit. Now, there is a very simple way to get the financing you need for your business, and I'm going to share it with you. And then last, I'm going to share an insider secret. I'm going to give you a no-way fail. So there's no way that you can fail on this to get a bank loan right now if you want to take the steps that I'm going to share with you. So before I start, though, quick poll, just type in the word yes if you're currently stressed out on any level about your business cash flow, about your business financing, or if you're wondering how you're going to get more cash in your business. So just simply type in yes, okay? Perfect. Good. Good. Okay, most of you. All right. All right. So, again, please make sure that you have some way of taking some notes because I've got a lot of ground to cover here. So the first step is your business needs to make itself credible. All right, think about that. It has to be credible for all lenders, not just some lenders. I want you to be credible for all lenders. Now, I don't care if your revenue is zero, all right? I don't care if you're a business startup or maybe you're going to incorporate tomorrow. It doesn't matter. All right, you're still going to be able to build business credit. You're still going to be able to get the funds that you need for your business. Now, the reason the vast majority of loans or requests for funds get declined is because the first thing you have to do as a business owner is make sure that your business is credible. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, you need to make sure that when any lender looks at your business, they see a real business. Remember, when they look at you, what do they see? They see your business as a piece of paper. And it's this piece of paper that gets compared to every other business, but more importantly, it's every other business that's in the same business as you. So, step one is to make sure that you're compliant, okay? Now, being compliant means that you've documented the 20 items. And remember, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give this away to you at the end. You're going to get this document, all right? That you've got to have these 20 items that every lender wants you to have, all right? They're virtually identical. I don't care what or who the lender is. Their list is almost identical to this list. I've compiled it from the best of the best, if you will, all right? And you know, this is you know, whether you're going to be looking for business credit cards, bank loans, it doesn't matter. You need to follow these 20 steps. Now, as I said, I'm going to make it very easy for you. I'm going to give you this compliance checklist. So I'm not going to cover all the 20 items now, but when you do download it at the end, I want you to take some notes, and especially as I go along on some of the more tricky ones. But remember, all 20 are critically important. Missing one is literally enough to get you rejected. All right, so here are some of the things that you need to do. You have to have a separate business phone, all right? Do yourself a favor. Stop using your cell phone as your business phone, all right? Really, you should go get yourself an 800 number. I can't tell you. I probably, and this is no exaggeration, I mean, we get hundreds of leads. Part of our sales funnel, if you will, is we get people who come to us directly for financing. I can't tell you how many people, when we call them, it's their cell phone. And more importantly, I call their cell phone, or one of my staff calls their cell phone, and we get there's no more room in the mailbox. The mailbox don't leave a message, whatever the case may be. As a lender, if I hear that, you think I'm so inclined to want to give them any money at all? So again, you want to make sure that it's a landline. And again, there's a lot of services out there where you can get the landline, the 800 number, very, very inexpensively. It's, again, what's going to separate you from everybody else and make you stand out as a real business, all right? The next thing is you need a proper listing in the national 411 directory, all right? Your business phone number, it must be listed with 411 under the exact legal name, all right? You got to make sure it's in the national 411 directory, and it's not just on a local, or let's say on your carriers. Maybe you have Verizon, all right? So you get listed with Verizon, but I'm on AT&T. I go looking for your business, and when I ask for your business, from AT&T, they say it's not there. But when you list nationally, it shows up. All right? Minor thing, very important. And again, make sure it's in the exact legal name, because if it's not, and we ask as lenders, we ask, and you don't show up, guess what? You get declined. All right? You need a real physical address. All right? The business needs its own physical address. Please, no home addresses. Again, very inexpensive today to go out and get yourself a virtual office. They work. Virtually all the lenders can deal with someone who works out of a virtual office. What it's showing the lender is that you're actually committed to making your business as legitimate as possible. All right? Now, something that won't show up on the list when you download it, but I'm telling you, it's increasingly critical. First make sure you have a website. I can't tell you, again, how many businesses in today's marketplace come to me, and I'm telling you, internet businesses that don't have a website. So if that was the case, and if you were in the shoes of a lender, would you consider an internet business to be a real business if they don't even have a website? Okay. The next thing is make sure that your website is up to date. All right. What do I mean by that? Well, you got to have some social media. I'm not saying that you got to have hundreds of thousands of friends, but I mean, you definitely want some social media that points back to your business. I'll share with you that, and I know a ton of lenders, and they're checking on things. They're checking your Facebook. They're checking LinkedIn. If you have a restaurant, they're checking Yelp. I mean, they're looking at social media, and that's part of the underwriting process. So again, if you have a website, or if you don't have a website, get one. If you have one, look at areas to improve it. Make sure it shows everyone exactly what you do. All right. Make sure that it's all about your core business. Do yourself a favor. Take down the pages of paragraphs that maybe refer to your side eBay business, or unless eBay is your business, or maybe you're doing something, but you've got a page with your real estate business. Look, if you're not doing what's on your website full time, take it down. I can't tell you how easy it is to decline somebody, because you know what? What business are you really about? And to I guess show you that, I've taken the liberty of somebody that came to us, and I want you to look at this closely. So without hopefully sharing the details. So this is John Doe, all right, DBA Twin ABC Sales. This is his bank statement. This is what I'm looking at, all right? So it's John Doe doing business as Twin Blank Sales and Specialty Blank Sales and ABC Enterprises. The address here, I can tell you, is a home address, and the sad thing is that the guy has a real business. All right. The sad thing is that this guy actually does numbers. The sad fact of the matter is that if he cleaned up just his simple bank statement, got himself a real, and he has a place of business. He sent me ad nauseum pictures of his place of business. All right, outside, inside, from the sky. But this is what I have to go on, a piece of paper. I told you, and so this is the challenge that you guys and gals face as business owners when you don't take everything seriously. So hopefully there was a little lesson to be learned there. So just another show of hands. All right. Type in the word yes if you have mixed your personal credit with your business credit. So again, if you've at any time mixed personal credit with business credit, do me a favor. Just type in yes, yes, yes. Okay, you're mixing. And you know what? Way back when, I'm as guilty as anybody. I did it all the time. Okay? And don't, listen, if you've never done it, type in the word no. I'd like to hear from you guys as well. All right. So how do you establish, all right, how do you establish business credit lines the right way, all right, and that's important, the right way, so you can get some money. Now, before you try to get any money, you need to make sure that your business is listed with all three business credit reporting agencies, okay? They are Experian, Equifax, Dun & Bradstreet. Those are the three main the credit reporting agencies. Now, depending on your current status, this means you either you need to establish new files, or you need to make sure your existing files are reporting accurately. All right. So you got to make sure that you have all 3 files established. Now, I'll tell you personal experience. I had a vendor. I was spending literally $300,000 to $500,000 a month. I was doing internet advertising. As I got into business credit, as this all started unfolding for me years ago, I went to that vendor and I said, is there any particular reason why you don't report my good, the fact that I pay on time 100% every month, is there any reason why you're not reporting that to Dun & Bradstreet? And he said, why? Would that make any difference for you? And so just because, and believe me, I've got some businesses that have been in business, they come to me, they're 80 years in business, and they have little to no reporting files, okay? So you got to make sure you have all 3 files established. Without these files, you're panning for gold and you don't have a pan, all right? It's as simple as that. If you're ultimately looking to build business credit and get financing, please make sure that you've got your files, and I'll tell you what you need to do, all right? Let's talk about Dun & Bradstreet, all right? This is really the first one that you go after. You want to establish a file. You want to get what they call a DUNS number, and you want to do that like 10 minutes after I'm finished. Now, you can go the free route, all right? You can go the free route. There's nothing wrong. You can apply for the free DUNS number. It'll take 15 to 30 days to receive it if you're not in any rush, okay? If you're not looking for financing immediately, excuse me, this is definitely an okay route to take, all right? Or you can sign up directly for it online. Now, the online route's going to take about 5 days. Now, once your D&B file is activated and has a rating and a strong PAYDEX score. Now, PAYDEX is the equivalent of FICO if you don't know that, okay? PAYDEX runs from 0 to 100. Anything, no one gets 100. Anything over 80 is absolutely phenomenal. If you're in the 75, mid 75 or higher score, you're doing very good. All right. So you want to make sure that you get a rating, you get a strong PAYDEX score, and once you do that, you'll see many more vendors and business credit cards will just become available to you. All right. And this especially holds true in the case of programs that actually do not require a personal guarantee. Now, I want to warn you, okay, and this is important, and I don't want you to take this lightly, all right, because every time I go through this webinar, I have someone who emails me and says that they got red flagged, all right. They say, I got red flagged, Mark, you don't know what you're talking about, so please, just make sure you pay very close attention with what I'm going to share with you right now, all right. On the D&B sign-up page, there's a toll-free number. Now, normally when I type this out, it's all in caps, which means I'm shouting. I should be shouting at you right now. So pay attention. Under no circumstances should you call that toll-free number. All right? Remember, when you go to that sign-up page, there's a toll-free number. Under no circumstances should you call that number. Now, I'm chuckling because I know somebody here is going to get on. Is going to go to the site. They're gonna call that number, and then they're going to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. So just make the online, make the online monitoring package purchase only. All right. It's all you need. Trust me, it's all you need. Now, again, look, I always have someone. They either half listen, they think they're a little bit smarter than me, or they just flat out ignore this warning. They call D&B. Or they talk to the D&B has a national, or actually an international team of salespeople, and they're amazing. They're very good at getting a lot of money out of you, which you don't need to spend, all right? So now what happens is when you talk to these D&B people, all right, you're going to end up getting very upset because that sales rep is going to tell you that they're going to red flag you, all right? They're going to say, you know what, you're trying to build business credit. Well, duh, that's exactly what you're trying to do. Why they're upset is because they want to charge you a ridiculous amount of money to help you do it, and believe me, you'll only find out at the end that what they do is a far cry of what we're able to do for you, all right? So just understand, all right? It's not true, all right? And so don't put yourself through that, all right? The online purchase of the low-cost monitor package does everything you need to do. So simply have no phone and no email communication with D&B, all right? Everybody got that? Please type in, yes, Mark, I got that. Okay, it's for your own benefit. All right, so quick review. The first thing that you've done is you've made sure that you're compliant. Remember, you're going to get that 20-point compliance checklist. You're going to go through every single one of them. You're not going to skip any of them. You're going to promise me that, right? All right. The next step is establishing the 3 business credit files, all right? And then the next 2 steps involved are actually getting access to credit and cash. Now, the first thing that you need is 5 reporting trade lines. This is not an arbitrary number. All right, I didn't just make up 5 just for the sake of it. It's not 3, it's not 19, it's 5 for a very specific reason. Now, you can always get more, but you need 5 reporting vendor trade accounts to start, all right? And they all need to be reporting, all right? Now, so we're all on the same page. A vendor line of credit is when a company, that's the vendor, extends a line of credit to your business on what they would call net 15, net 30, 60, or 90 days, all right? So this means that you can purchase their products or services up to a maximum dollar amount, and then you have 15, 30, 60, or 90 days to pay the bill in full. So if you're, as an example, set up on net 30 terms and you were to purchase $300 worth of goods today, then that $300 is due within the next 30 days. Now, your paydex score is a reflection of how close you get to that 30 days. If you're always early, if you're before the 30 days, your score is going to be pushing 80 plus. If you pay it right on the 30th day, you'll be somewhere about 75. And if you go over, well, forget it. You've kind of screwed up the whole thing. So, again, make sure when you have the vendor trade lines, you pay early, you pay on time. You never, there's no forgiveness. Unlike with personal credit where they forgive you, they have the grace period. Business credit is very unforgiving. So very, very important that you're on time there. All right, another little secret. All right, some vendors, so the people that you're trying to get credit from, they will approve your company for net 30 payment terms upon verification of as little as just your EIN, your federal tax ID number, and here's that 411 listing, all right? So with some vendors, all you have to do is give them your EIN number and your phone number, and they're going to check to make sure you're a business and that the business legal name is consistent with all the records, and they're going to pick up the phone, call 411, and ask for your company, all right? So very simple process. That's why this compliance checklist is such a huge winner if you do it the right way. Now, please always apply first without using your Social Security number, all right? I'm asking that of you. Now, vendors will request it, all right? Some on the phone, they'll actually tell you that you need to have it. You have to give me your Social Security number. I'm telling you, no, submit first without it, all right? I think you'll be very, very surprised. Now, if it's a vendor that you absolutely, positively have to have, and they're asking for your Social Security number, well, naturally, you give it to them. But I'm telling you, you can go. See, it doesn't matter who the vendors are. You just need to get 5 reporting vendor trade lines. That keeps opening the doors to the bigger dollar amounts, all right? Now, this may not be such a huge secret, but unlike personal credit, and I sort of just mentioned this, there is no forgiveness with business credit. So again, just to reiterate, pay everything early, pay it in full, and believe me, your business credit scores will end up rocking. Now, all right, the last piece is that you have to have, all right, it's not, again, not an arbitrary number, you have to have 3 revolving credit card accounts that report. Very important, that report. So revolving credit, you kind of know that. That's the one, that's the minimum payment due, that's the credit card, okay? Now, these accounts, they normally report to Experian, sometimes to D&B, sometimes to Equifax, but because of how they report, these accounts will help you build your business credit on a much larger scale than those net 30 accounts. But you got to get the 5 reporting vendor trade lines. All right, then you move on to your business credit cards. Once you get the 3 business credit cards, you're off to the races. All right, there is no limit, okay, with business as to how many credit cards you can get. Now, I've got a big warning here, right? Do not apply with any credit card providers until you have verified that at least your Experian and Dun & Bradstreet business credit files are open, and that you have a total of at least 5 reporting trade lines for a period of more than 30 days, or you will get declined. Now, here's the problem that people have, all right? Everybody wants the credit cards. Nobody wants the vendor trade lines. I get it, all right? Nothing glamorous about vendor trade lines. It's the credit cards. But what happens is when you circumvent, when you try to shortcut the program, this is where you truly get red flagged, because the credit card companies, you may get one, you may get two, but you know what? Come number 3, somebody's going to throw up the flag. And unlike in school when they said this is going on your permanent record, and you know it took us 6 or 7 years to figure out there is no such thing as a permanent record. In business credit, there's a permanent record, all right? And basically the red flag says this guy's trying to cheat the system. So again, I want to repeat this. Do not apply with any credit card providers until you've verified that at least your Experian and Dun & Bradstreet business credit files, they're open, and you have a total of at least 5 reporting trade lines for at least 30 days, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get declined. So, show of hands. Type in the word yes, all right? How many of you want me to keep going, show you a strategy to get a bank loan easily, all right? So if you want me to show you how to get a bank loan very easily, okay, you're all typing in the word yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so getting your first business loan from a bank, I know, it's like impossible, right? I mean, the majority of business loan applications of banks, they get declined. I shared that with you. 83% get declined because the banks won't lend to anybody, right? Well, will they? All right? Here's an insider secret. And believe me, I just sat down with a gentleman who now owns a franchise. All right, they own actually a number of franchises. They were looking to get financing, and he's an ex-CEO of a bank, small local bank here in Florida. And I shared this insider secret, and he looked at me like a deer in the headlights. He was just, I mean, his jaw dropped. He was embarrassed, and he was like, you know what? I didn't even know that, okay? It's all about building that bank rating, okay? And I'm not going to get into all the details now, but here's what you need to do, all right? More importantly, here's what I want you to understand, is that if this strategy doesn't work for you right now, all right, I don't want you to worry, okay? So understand that I'm going to go through it, and if you say, well, that doesn't work for me now, please don't worry about it, okay? It's not going to impact your ability to build business credit. It will not impact your ability to get money from other sources. So I just want to be clear on this, all right? I don't want to sort of blow you out of the water and scare you to death here. I just want you to understand that this is a strategy that can put your business on a fast track to unlimited business capital. But if you can't do it, all right, don't worry about it. Save it for a rainy day. You can use this strategy at any time, okay? So how do you get your first bank loan? Here's what you need to do. Make sure you have pen and paper. All right, you're going to go to the bank and you're going to deposit $10,000 in the name of the business. Now, the reason it needs to be $10,000, this is what the CEO of the bank didn't know, is that because we're going to build a high bank rating that will make everyone want to lend you money. Now, if you don't have the $10,000 required, maybe you want to consider borrowing it from friends or family, all right? This would maybe be the only time that I would suggest pulling it off a personal credit card, because I'm going to show you there's no risk here. Or if you have equity still in your home, maybe pull it out of the home. All right? If you borrow it from friends or family, just explain to them that you're not going to be using the money, all right? The money is just going to sit in the business checking account. So I'm going to trust that they're going to trust you that you are not going to spend the money. So, in fact, tell them that you're going to return it to them in 6 months, and you're going to return it to them with some interest, okay? Now, after maintaining an average bank balance of $10,000, all right, you're going to then go ask the bank to borrow $5,000, and you're going to secure it with $5,000 from the bank account. So you're going to take half the money, all right, and you're going to put it into a 3-month CD. So this is why I'm telling you you're not spending the money. Okay, so you're going to invest it in a 3-month CD. Now, the bank will let you borrow against the CD, but here's the kicker, is that when you do that, they'll turn around and report what you just did as a business loan. So just make sure that you're working with a bank that reports the payments. Not all banks do. So I'd hate to see you go through this exercise and then all of a sudden you find out the bank was not reporting. Can you believe it? But that's the reality. Not all banks do what they're supposed to do. So you do this, all right, and you're basically strapping a Nitro charger rocket on your business in terms of its ability, because guess what? It's just like if you've ever gotten a home mortgage, and if you got a home mortgage, if you realize that the ensuing weeks and months, your mailbox got overloaded with credit card offers. See, what lenders do is they wait for other lenders, especially banks, to lend money to somebody. Because when other lenders see that the bank, the most conservative of conservative, has lent you money, then you must be good, right? So same thing on the business loan side. You do that, the bank reports, all of a sudden you're starting to get business credit card offers. And you know what the nice thing is? Unlike personal credit cards where maybe they'll give you $1,000 or $1,500 or a couple of $1,000 limit, business credit cards, a lot of times they start at $15,000 or $25,000. All right. Sometimes the initial approval, depending on your business, could be $40,000. So believe me, you want to really, boost your business's ability to get funds. That's a phenomenal strategy. So, but let me ask you this. All right. How many of you have actually gone to the bank, you've looked for a loan, only to have them say no? All right. Just type in the word yes if that happens to you. All right. So to review, 3 steps to obtaining business funding: build business credibility, establish business credit lines, get your first loan. Okay? Very simple. Step 1, building business credibility. You're going to complete that 20-point compliance checklist that you're going to download at the end of this webinar. All right? You need to build strong business credit scores with all 3 of the business credit agencies. Ultimately, you have to build a business bank account that makes lenders want to give you money. Okay, again, when I look at someone to lend them money, I'm telling you firsthand, what are we looking at? We're looking at their average daily bank balance. A business that can't hold any money in their bank account is not a business that's worthy of borrowing large amounts of money. All right? Now, step 2, you want to establish business credit lines. I told you, go do D&B, Experian, Equifax. You build business credit history. You build credit reporting trade lines. And you also want to monitor your organization's credit scores in the growing asset. Now, the ultimate objective is step 3, and that is getting the loan, okay? Getting lending programs that don't require personal guarantees, finding bankers that will give you your first loan. You want to shop for lending solutions for your business, and your business credit score grows as you access. It's a good vicious cycle. The more you get, the more you get, all right? So I just want to share with you some of the experiences we've had in the marketplace, individuals who have followed our roadmap, if you will. One of my success students came to us when he was starting out, Harold from Ohio, followed the steps that I've laid out. Not so funny story, though. Had gone through a pretty nasty divorce, personal bankruptcy, and I guess this was kind of important. He had absolutely no business experience, but he was able to build business credit, get the financing that he needed to start his business. So by a show of hands, how many here could use financing to get your business going? All right, well, that's what following those steps are going to do for you. Adam from Salt Lake City, what he said was that he was thinking about starting a company a while back. He signed up to start building his business credit, found out during the process that he could leverage his good personal credit and obtain financing faster than not using this personal credit. So by doing this, he was able to get enough money to buy and start a local franchise, and he thanked us for all that help. Donna Ray, very, very nice lady, good business person, committed to following the steps outlined that we've just given you, and within 30 days obtained $75,000 in corporate credit. 6 months, after 6 months, continuing the process, had over $225,000 in actual cash credit. Not bad, right? Let's see. I mean, maybe you've had this experience. You've gone to the bank has said no. You've gone to another bank. The other bank said no. So Brian, Las Vegas here, desperate. I mean, desperate when I met him, all right? Maybe you've had the same experience. So, I think this is a pretty typical story. I mean, where do you go when the bank says no? He comes to us. We set him up properly, builds his corporate credit. He was able to get $100,000 cash. So simple question, how many of you would love that extra 100,000 in cash for your business? Well, understand that's what building business credit the right way can do for you. Marie from Louisiana, little business, been around for a few years, and told us because I had an existing business and good personal credit, I was able to go through the program really fast. So far, I've obtained about 50,000 in business credit. She's on the 5th step. We outlined the steps for you, and it's after a few months. Thanks for the help. I know some of you may be saying what happens when you have bad personal credit. Well, what I can tell you is that regardless of the type of credit that you have, the whole point here is that you're separating. Good personal credit means you can leverage things faster, but regardless, all right? It doesn't matter, good or bad or anything in between. And then I have to share with you our biggest success story, all right? He's Einar. He's been in our program. He had, at this point, been in for about 5 months, and he was excited. It was a Tuesday that we made the call. He was approved for a $10 million factoring line of credit, obviously vital for any business. And so my question is, you know, how would you feel if next Tuesday I called you to let you know that you got a line of credit? Now, you know, maybe it's only $5,000, maybe it's $25,000, maybe it's $250,000. But just imagine what it would be like to get that type of phone call just like Einar. So simple raise of hand, type in the word yes if you'd like to be my next success story. All right. So, you know, I just want you for a moment to imagine what it would be like to be able to, you know, send your kids to any college because your business has that unlimited access to money. You're able to drive that ideal car down the road. You have that dream house. You're traveling more. Maybe it's just, and for me this was the big one, worry-free, not stressing out. So how many of you would love to be able to live this kind of lifestyle? So if I have your permission, what I'd like to do is just share with you how I do it, and it's our instant business funding system, all right? So the system that I use, that we developed, is really the most turnkey. It's step-by-step. It's easy to use. It shows you exactly how to do what you need to do to get at least $50,000 in business funding. Now, so the benefit of the system is you're going to have access to more capital. You're going to get better rates. The benefit of the system is that you're going to have increased cash flow, all right? You have access to hundreds of lenders. You're going to have access to loans with no personal guarantees. You're going to be able to build your business credit asset. I mean, that's the asset that's worth money when you sell your business. And the benefit of the system is that it is a turnkey. It's guaranteed, and I'm going to share more about that in a minute. So let me tell you what you get. You're going to get the successful funding request blueprint, all right? You're going to discover how to submit a successful funding request. I'm going to share with you how to get the most credit possible. I'm going to share with you how to eliminate the learning curve, and we put a value of $997 on this. You're also going to get the business setup jumpstart. So what you will get is a step-by-step process of getting your business started. Obviously, if you're in the startup mode, we're also going to give you tips on buying a business or franchise. We share regulations that you have to check out. We share how to get the money that you need, plus we share some high-impact marketing programs, really a lot more. We put a value of a little under $1,200 on this. We also give you the venture capital success programs. I know some of you are probably in a position where you want to start considering that. All right, this is going to enable you to test your qualifications. You know, what are angel investors? What are they looking for? Where do you begin? All right, we'll help you with that 30-second elevator pitch, all right? And we'll also talk about the most common myths about venture capitalists, and we put a value of $1,197 on this. In addition, you're going to get the real-time trade line dashboard, all right? So we have a 24/7 system that will enable you to log on through our website, through our member website, and you have 24/7 access to know exactly where you stand with your goals. So I put this as priceless, and let me tell you why. The reason is this. We are the only business credit building company that actually has a live data feed directly integrated with Experian Business Information Services, all right? We're the only company out there that has direct, think about it. How many companies are directly tied into a credit bureau? We are. This gives you the real-time access. to your business credit report and score. You're going to be able to see instantly what every lender and credit provider is going to see once you submit your application. You can check your business credit as frequently as you like. It doesn't create inquiries. You're going to be able to monitor the growth of your business credit, receive alerts. So I think pretty simple why we say it's priceless, okay? Now, everybody's going to get the corporate compliance checklist. I've spoke about this several times. It's step by step. It's 20 items, and I'm telling you again, almost all of the loan turndowns are as a result of companies being non-compliant. So imagine not being turned down because you forgot to dot an I or cross a T, all right? I mean, personally, I think this one item alone can make the difference between hearing the word no or congratulations, your loan has been approved, all right? So do you get that? All right, good. So like I told you earlier, about 297 is what we put the value, what we've sold this for in the past. Now, if that's not enough, all right, we also include your own personal funding advisor. That's right. You're going to get a personal funding advisor that's going to be working with you one-on-one. Now, they have access to hundreds of lenders. We can work virtually any kind of business loan. We work with you to achieve the best funding solution. A lot of times we can get approvals in 48 hours or less. We can get you cash really, literally within days. Now, my funding advisors, all right, they are trained by me. They're equipped to handle virtually any type of loan for any business. And what's better is that they're on your team. So imagine, I don't know if you know that a lot of times you can find business loan brokers. Typically, they'll charge points or $10,000 just to submit an application. And there's zero guarantee that you're going to get funded, all right? So our funding advisors, we make sure that we match you with the perfect lender, and the nice thing is, all right, we have hundreds of them available to you. We have a value here of $697. Look, my goal is to make you super successful. Hopefully you can see that. So you're going to get the small business profit secrets, all right? So here's where I share with you each month one of my specialized small business experts who will share with you the current strategies that I use to build a strong and profitable business. And what I'm basically doing is opening up these experts to you just for coming on board. And these are valued at $597. In addition, you're going to get the no personal guarantee vendor and credit card list, okay? We're going to give you access to all of our vendors and business credit cards that report to the business credit bureaus with no personal guarantees, all right? You'll get those 5 vendor trade lines that I talked about, but with no personal guarantees. Now, as I mentioned, don't be fooled. Don't skip these because I promise you that you will end up with nothing. Now, this is the backbone of every Fortune 500 company. Remember, all right, there are over 500,000. I want you to listen to these numbers. There are over 500,000 vendors, but only 6,000 that actually report to the business credit bureaus. Even fewer, they do it without the personal guarantees, and we give them to you. You'll get at least 3 business credit cards without personal guarantees. All right, now here's another number that you need to know. There are some 500 business credit card issuers in the U.S. Less than 50 are going to do it without a personal guarantee. All right, how would you like to have access to dozens of business credit cards? And we're going to tell you everything that you need in order to be accepted before you apply. So can you see how easy this is? All right, so the list obviously is extremely valuable. You're going to have all the capital and the credit that you need. These 2 lists alone, it's worth between $20,000 and $40,000. I put a value of $14.97 on this. So in addition, I'm going to share with you my banker's secret hot list, right? As I told you, obtaining that first bank loan, that's like finding the Holy Grail. Now, I'm going to give you my personal list of banks, all right? All right, you'll get the bank's name, the bank's phone number. On top of that, you're going to have all of their listed requirements. Look, having a bank loan, I told you, it can provide a powerful boost to building business credit fast. And I've got access to the banks that have special loan programs for you, the small business owner, all right? This means no more walking into that local bank and being humiliating, you know, having to fill out an application and then hoping that you qualify. All right, think about it. How is it going to feel knowing that you're pre-qualified before you apply, and better yet, know that you're ready to apply? So I'm giving this to you, and we put a value of $447 on that. And then on top of that, I'm going to do something that I consider to be very, very special, all right? So I'm going to give each and every one of you a personal business credit building advisor. Different than the funding advisor, this is a business credit building advisor, all right? You're going to get to work with one of my one-on-one coaches that will work with you personally to achieve all of your business credit goals and make sure that the funding, that you get the funding for your business. So how am I so confident it works? I'm glad you asked, all right? Your coach is going to have an active role in your process of building your business credit. Now, we know you're very busy in your day-to-day, in taking care of your day-to-day operations, right? My guess is that you're way too busy to change the oil in your car, to do your own taxes. Least of all, why would you be building your own business credit? So here's the way it works. You're going to get a call from my concierge desk. You'll be introduced to your coach. The coach is yours. You'll have their email address. You'll have their phone number. And if you need to speak to your coach and they're not available, no problem. Every one of my coaches are available on demand during business hours, and they will answer any, and I mean any, question you may have. Experience? I'm glad you asked. Every one of my coaches has on average 7 years of business credit coaching experience. Every single one of them came to me with at least 5 years of coaching small business owners. And before I actually let them get on the phone with you, they have to go through an extensive and intensive 60 hours of training that I put them through, and they cannot get on the phone until they pass my certification test. So believe me, they know their stuff, all right? And if they don't, so if you stump them, all right, I have the coaches to make sure that we get you the answer that you need. So who thinks that this makes their life a heck of a lot easier? You just type in the word yes or raise your hand. But I think it gets even better, and I'll tell you why. All right, I make sure the odds are stacked in your favor. My coaches are paid upon your success, meaning how quickly they can build your business credit and how much money they can get for your business. What that means to you is they're very, very motivated, and the bottom line is they will increase your return on investment. Now, if any of you have ever hired a business coach, and I mean someone who really knows what they're doing, these are not call center coaches, all right? You know, that they know what they're doing, that you know that these coaches, all right, can cost you anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000 a month, and so you know, you're spending anywhere between $6,000 to $18,000 a year before you're done, and that's at a minimum. So I put a value of $4,497 on this, just to be fair. You also get my platinum email support system. You have 24/7 access to my team. Some of you don't like the phone, you like email. We do everything we can to get back to you within one business day. We've got a value of $797 on that. And we're going to include the Instant Credit Bureau Setup Program, all right? We're going to share with you how to quickly set up with all 3 bureaus, all right? We take the hassle out. Look, I know, I get it, all right? I did it myself. It's a pain, all right? We want to jumpstart your business credit. We put this at $197. I also throw in what I call you give yourself a raise courtesy of Uncle Sam. I've got one of my top tax advisors. He shares with you all of the strategies. You know, a lot of times, you know, we think we know what we can really do, but he'll share with you what, you know, we consider to be some of the mistakes that we make as business owners when we're not taking advantage of everything possible. And you know, what that means is that if you're saving money tax-wise, hey, look, better cash flow, right? So we put a value the blueprint, the business setup jumpstart system, venture capital success, real-time access to reporting trade lines, the compliance checklist, personal funding advisor, small business profit secrets, no personal guarantee lists, both vendor and credit card, my bankers list, the one-on-one coaching, we've got the platinum email support, we've got instant business bureau setup, give yourself a raise courtesy of Uncle Sam. When you add that up, it's a lot of money, right? It's about $13,000, okay? Now, I believe in this system so much, and I think at this point you're probably aware of how passionate I am about success and your success. What I've done is I've put an ironclad 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked out there, all right? So what does that mean? It means that if you follow all of our steps, okay, over the course of a year, that you'll get at least $50,000 All right, so you start now over the next 12 months, follow all our steps. If we can't help you get at least 50,000, we give you your money back. All right, it's guaranteed. It's here. It's in writing. No questions asked. Now, if you're still with me at this point, all right, I know that you would love the instant business funding system. All right, I just want you to think about how you spend your money on a daily basis and what you might be willing to give up in order to separate your personal credit from your business credit to get a minimum of 50,000 in funding for your business. And then I want you to think about this. If you got 50,000 in your business, all right, what would that turn into? That's really what you have to consider, all right? You got to remember, there's always a cost for everything, even if you do or do not do something. So in the world of finance and business, the cost of doing something is called opportunity cost. So I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to give you a copy of my book, all right? It gives you a step-by-step instructions on how to boost your personal credit score. It's, I guess, a bear-all, show-all. I promise you the personal credit bureaus don't like what I have to say. They're not happy that I share, if you will, their secrets, all right? What you have to understand is that CNN, and not all that long ago, reported that 95% of all credit reports have errors, all right? I'm dealing with one now. A great business, all right? It's John Doe Jr. John Doe passed away several months ago. His personal credit report is showing his father's credit, and as every time we try to get a loan, it's coming up that the owner, the junior, is deceased, all right? Pretty big error. So now we're working with him at taking care of that error, right? We see it all the time. Most credit profiles are inaccurate. Many consumers and business owners are denied credit through no fault of their own. So I'm showing you everything, all right? Step by step, everything that you need to do. If you went to a credit repair company, they would charge you at least $1,000, if not more. So we put a value of $897. Now, no question in my mind, this is the easiest turnkey system. It is the most incredible piece of software on the market. If you're not aware, this is all software driven. There is nothing like it. It absolutely helps you get at least 50,000 and more. I say up to $250,000, but clearly we can go much higher. As with Einer, we did a $10 million line of credit. So I put a tag of $3,000 on the value of this. But you know, the question is, can you see how the software actually would shortcut your success? All right. So we also have built in. So this is our what we call our smart application technology. All right. This technology is built right into the software that I just showed you. It will literally pre-qualify you for 18 different lending programs. It'll fill out the application for you, and it gets it to one of my funding advisors immediately. And you know what? Before you even set up your credit file. So imagine stepping into the program, getting pre-qualified, and getting funding, you know, literally within days, if not weeks. All right. So that's why I throw this as priceless. So on top of that, we also give you a $7,000 credit line. Okay. This is to be used to finance computers, laptops, desks, furniture, medical, travel, whatever the case may be. It's built into the system, so I put it priceless. All right, and then lastly, one more bonus. You're probably wondering when I'm going to run out of breath here. It's a $4,000 bonus. All right, it's a 3-day business building live event. All right, I let you come down to beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. You learn directly from my team. You learn from me about what's working for the small business owner. You talk to the lenders directly. I think we have some of the best minds in the small business arena. We have this 3-day event. It's valued at $4,000. We make it part of the program. So again, now, so on top of everything, it's the personal credit optimization system, the business credit building online system, the pre-qualification for the 18 different loans, the $7,000 line of credit, okay, and the 3-day business building live event. All right. So when you go and add it all up, it's over $20,000, almost $21,000. So let me ask you this question: if all this system did for you were to help you get the funding you need for your business, so you can take your business to the next level, would that be worth the investment? Would $20,000 be worth getting 50, if not more? Absolutely. I was a stockbroker. If if I had a $20 or $20,000 stock that I was guaranteeing, I'd be in jail because you can't guarantee stocks. But if I could guarantee a $20,000 stock to go to $50,000, I mean, would it be worth the investment? Absolutely. If all the system did for you were to help you get 50, 100, maybe even 250,000, would it be worth it? So if all it did for you were to help you become financially free so you could spend more time with your family doing the things that you want to do, would it be worth the investment? Absolutely. So what I'm going to do here today is I want to make this as easy as possible. And I know you've heard this a million times, so I'll skip the ad lib lines. But for those of you who get it today, you're not going to get it for 20,000. You're not going to get it for 15. You're not going to get it for $10,000. Now, normally, all right, that's the operative word here, the price for the full system. So what we typically will sell this retail for in the marketplace, everything that I just covered, is $47.99. But I've been asked, I've been arm twisted, and I've been cajoled, and I have absolutely no problem with that. So it's a special attendee offer, all right, just for Sohail's group today, okay? We're going to give you an even bigger and more outrageous discount, but you have to qualify for the offer. So what do I mean by that? You can only purchase our coaching and software package by applying to qualify. So if you're interested, you've got to go to this URL. It's http://bit.ly/instant business funding. All right? Go there. All right? The application fee is $100. It's 100% fully refundable, okay? If you're accepted in the program, the fee is going to be credited towards your purchase, all right? We want to make sure, and I hopefully you can appreciate this, we want to make sure that we're working with business owners who are truly motivated to be successful with our program. We want to make sure that we're working with business owners who really want to get at least $50,000 in funding for the business. So if you're the person sitting here saying, I could use $50,000, then you want to go open up a browser, go to http://bit.ly/instant business funding. Now, I'm not going to be offering this forever. So when the ratio of business owners to coaches gets too high, I have to close off the number of new business owners we take on because I want to make sure that we have the highest quality, the best results for every one of you. I'm sure you can all appreciate that, right? Now, you know, I have closed this down several times in the past 6 months. So the smart move is just sign up now, $100, 100%. If after the interview, after we talk to you, and if for whatever reason the shoe doesn't fit, instantaneously refund the money. Believe me, I don't make a living off a $100 application fee. What I do want to stress is that I don't want you to pass up the $50,000 opportunity. So my one-on-one coaches are waiting for you. The money's waiting for you. All you need to do is step up to the plate to see if you qualify. Now, I promised you that I was going to give you the link for the 2 free gifts. Here it is, the corporate compliance checklist, the ebook. You go to www.instantbusinessfunding.com/bonus. All right, there'll be 2 links. Click on both of them, okay? All right, so again, just to remind you, $100, it's 100% fully refundable. If accepted, the fee is credited towards your purchase. Now, I had a lot to say. More importantly, I want to thank each and every one of you for spending this time with me. And truly, I wish you the best of luck in separating your personal credit from your business credit and getting the financing that you need for your business. And for those of you who are signing up, I see a few of you coming in right now. I can see my phone's lighting up a little bit. You know, I want to personally welcome you. I really do look forward to working with each and every one of you. So Hill, how are we doing for time? Do I have a few minutes for some of the questions that came in?
Yes, definitely, Mark. You've got some time left. If you want to do and answer some questions, that's great.
Okay, so I'm just going to take, and I apologize if I skipped over yours. My assistant is sort of like throwing them in front of me. So let me see here. All right, first question: money back? Is there a money back guarantee to this? Yes. All right. So it's a $50,000 money back guarantee. What that means is over the course of a year. All right. So people say, Mark, why can't you give me a 7-day money back guarantee? Well, the only guarantee I can give you in 7 days is that I can't get you $50,000 on average. I mean, it does happen, but I don't want to put 3 guns to my head. So what we say is give us a year to work with you, because everybody comes to us in different circumstances. All right, you follow all of our steps. All right, look, we understand that building your business credit and separating your business from your personal is serious. Sometimes it takes a little time. Sometimes it takes a little bit of work on your behalf. All right, but you know, we want to make sure that choosing us as a partner is really the best decision, and the only way I know how to make that is to put it in writing. All right, so hopefully that thanks for that question. All right, next question looks more like a statement. It says, Mark, this is a no-brainer. With just one small line of credit or credit card, I'll make my money back within 30 days. So yeah, absolutely. Remember Donna Ray? That's the one that we had her pre-approved within 48 hours. And within a week after she started with us, $75,000 in her account. There was no personal guarantee. Within 6 months, she had about $250,000. So I'm sure that works for anyone on this call, right? And let's see here. Next question kind of looks, all right, looks like it's two questions. All right, first, can I obtain corporate credit without a personal guarantee, and how much corporate credit can I obtain? All right, yes. We're going to show you how you can obtain corporate credit either with or without a personal guarantee. All right, so it's a process that begins with building that credit file, remember, for the corporation, D&B, obtaining the required rating and scores, then pay your bills, pay them on time to build that positive history that the bank can review. And regarding how much you can receive, I mean, I know it sounds crazy when I say it's limitless, but yeah, I mean, that is the potential. There's no cap, all right? Businesses, I mean, think about it. Businesses grow, get bigger, they need more money. All right, so we've helped businesses. You'll be in good stead. We've helped, you know, thousands of businesses, some in the millions of dollars, no personal guarantees. All right. Next question: my business is new. Can you still help me get the line of credit I need? Yeah, that's pretty easy. Sometimes I'd rather work with someone who's absolutely clean. Our system is designed actually to serve the needs of virtually any type of business. I told you. One business that came to us was some 80-plus years old. I won't get into the details, but 80-plus years old. They were coming because they needed to build business credit. All right, times have changed. You got to do what it takes. All right. So if you've got an established business, no problem. If and in fact you'll probably have a head start. You'll finish probably quicker. You may be able to skip some of the items completely, but you know we can help you secure lines of credit for your business, even if it's brand new. All right, good question. All right, here's another one. I've heard about programs like this. How is yours different? All right, well, you know, and that's a very fair question. I appreciate that. I think there's a lot of things that distinguish our instant business funding system from the competition. Let me just touch just on a few. You're going to get that one-on-one credit, what I call a credit-wise advisor, hence the name, credit-wise advisors, right? And again, remember, we're not call center people. These are real deal business people. They've coming from you know, whether it be accounting, legal, business, whatever their walk of life, banking, and they're going to help you build your business credit. They're going to help you separate. They understand. They've been in your shoes, if you will. All right, so you're going to get that step-by-step instruction. You're going to get all the tools in order to be doing it and doing it the right way. Plus, you get that funding advisor. This is different now. So you have one person who's on business credit. Now you're getting someone who understands the loan process, how to get money, how to access that cash. And if you're lucky enough, that person may actually be me, because I do work with the clients. Okay, and so we match you. We make sure you're aligned based on your pre-qualifications. And then we have the no-risk money-back guarantee. All right. Bottom line is this: we either do what we say or we give you money back. It's as simple as that. The onus is on me. I mean, when I designed this, it was, you know, when you think about guarantees, what good's a guarantee if it's not a real guarantee? So I wanted what made sense for me. Hopefully that works for you. How quickly can I get a line of credit? Well, it really can be as little as 2 weeks. It could be 2 months. It could be 4 months. You know, we've experienced it all. Let's see, how much time does it take? That's another question I'm seeing here. I've seen this a couple of times. Really, it's somewhat up to you. It depends on your business. It depends on how excited you are to build that business credit asset. How quickly do you want to separate everything? So, in fairness, generally that's a 2 to 4 month period. It can be a little bit shorter. It can take a little bit more time. All right, one other question. What kinds of businesses have used this system? Well, you know, we've helped, let's see, real estate investors, stock, other types of investors. small business owners, really from almost every business type imaginable all over the country. And we help them qualify for the line. So, look, I'm seeing orders come in to pre-qualify. I want to welcome all of you. Just to let you know, each and every one of you will be receiving phone calls from my staff to go over everything that I spoke about to make sure that your business will qualify to receive the $50,000. So, who's ready to separate their business from their personal credit? I mean, who's really ready to get unlimited capital for their business? So, you know, are you ready to own a really successful business and really have it help you live the life that you deserve? I just want to leave you with one last thing here, which is that opportunities in my mind to get money are very much like sunsets, all right? So with the sunset, right, even if you're a few minutes late, you've missed it. So for those of you who did not find what you came here looking for, I really do wish you the best of luck. I certainly do hope that you find your perfect sunset. I think now you know that you have two choices, right? One is you can continue to beg and borrow with your personal credit. You could hope that you win the lottery. That's if you buy the tickets. Or maybe you have a lot of rich friends and relatives, all right? Or you get the business, the instant business funding system. So for those of you who are saying, all right, Mark, all right, enough already. What's the next step? I'm ready to get capital for my business. I'm ready to get money and have a successful company. Here it is. That's the URL. Write it down. Go to it. Open up another tab. Apply right now. See if you qualify. And look, I look forward to working with each and every one of you.
Thank you very much, Mark. That was great. Phenomenal content information. Just to let you know that you know, I'm based in the UK, but I do a lot of business in the US. So this is really interesting information, and I have applied some of what you've taught actually on this webinar in the UK myself, and some of it does work in the UK, but obviously, as I know, it's mostly focused on the US. But yeah, great stuff, and a great, you know, a great training in finance as well. You know, how to handle finance and basically how to really separate your personal finance to your business finance, which is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Mark, thank you very much for joining. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, I really appreciate the opportunity. I mean, I get excited every time I do this. I end up in a pool of sweat. I get excited. I love
it's
this.
good. It's good, and you know, for those of you guys who are watching the replay, also if you go straight to that link, if you go to that link and find that offer's closed, I apologize, but like I say, you know, I know this has already been very, very popular, and Mark, once again, thank you very much for your knowledge and your wisdom, and great to have you on board, buddy, and hope to speak to you again soon.
Good. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.